Oh, just congratulate Northeastern. I thought they won all the battles in the game, beat us to pucks first. Were obviously a lot more ready to play than we were in the first period, and I thought found our game a little bit in the second, and then weren't able to get the second goal. So I think we wanted to take too many shortcuts tonight, and I think Northeastern is a very good hockey team, and I think they were ready to play, made the plays early in the game, and put us behind the eight ball, and we weren't able to get the game turned back into a spot that we had a chance to make it competitive.
Any questions for Coach Snell in front here?
Hey Coach, Matt Clarida from HRB and the Crimson 2. You mentioned shortcuts and not being ready to play. When do you realize that? Is that something you can see in warm-ups? And how do you account for that after, I think, not a win at Yale on Saturday night, but positive feelings about how the third period went in New Haven?
Well, I think the energy level was probably down a little bit. We played a pretty emotional game on Saturday, but as I say that, I don't want to discredit for Northeastern. I think Northeastern was much better than us tonight. But as a coach, how do you recognize it? Well, I thought we turned the puck over probably half a dozen times in the first 5 minutes of the game and gave up outnumbered rushes, and there's too much skill on the other side of the ice to give up outnumbered rushes. So I really felt our goaltender was left hanging out there. Wasn't certainly weren't easy save opportunities for him. I thought I thought we turned the puck over, got beat up the ice. We missed the net, a crazy amount of times, which sometimes jump-started their offense. And we just weren't willing to play the type of game that would give us a chance to be competitive tonight. I mean, we didn't hold on to pucks down low. We weren't able to separate them from the puck down low, so we end up spending a lot more time in our zone. So it's disappointing. It's not a great myth to us as to what happened. I think it was pretty obvious. We lost foot races, we lost one-on-one battles, and Northeastern deserved to win the game, by the score they won it by.
Anything else for Coach? Take this last one here. That's all you got.
Hey Coach, Jake Marr from the Harvard Crimson. It sounded like you guys found out pretty late that Sean Malone wasn't going to be able to be available today with the suspension. Can you just take me through how that decision was brought up with you and what the thinking was on the line changes afterwards?
Yeah, I think that's somewhat out of my hands. I think that's something that the league looks at. I think just from a procedural standpoint, in general, you have some event that leads to them reviewing it. They usually take Sunday and Monday, come out with any action, and that's what happened. With the game today, obviously it makes a little bit dicey as to changing your lineup and that kind of stuff. But I think that's certainly something that we dealt with today. But that in no way is has any indicator isn't an indicator of how we needed to play. And so I think the league made a decision they felt was in the best interest of the league, and you know, we certainly have other guys that have shown themselves very capable of stepping in and playing well for us. But as a group, you know, we had a lot more passengers than we did have guys that were prepared to play the type of game we would needed to play to have success.
More questions?
Yeah, no, I thought our kids played really well in the first period, got off to a real good start, and I liked the way we skated, we played with pace, we were transitioning pucks quickly, and I think we took a little bit of advantage of, you know, Harvard, who had two games this weekend, and we only had the one on Friday, and they went Friday, Saturday, so, you know, we were trying to jump quickly, and we were able to get a good jump, and then I thought Harvard responded in the second, and we didn't. I didn't think we played that smart in the second period, and we were on our heels a little bit, and I thought we were fortunate enough to get away, just giving up only one goal and being up 3-1 going into this third, and then, you know, I thought, you know, killing that penalty early in the third, because they're hitting at 31% was a momentum boost for us, and then we were able to get a couple goals there in the first half of that third period to you know, get to 5, and you know, I thought we played smart in that third period and responded well, and we were above the puck, and it was a good win for us. I mean, that's the number 7 team in the country. We played the 8th ranked team last Friday, and you know, so for us, it just continued building momentum, and now we'll focus back in on league play. So happy with the win, and you know, we'll get ready, as I said, for UMass this weekend.
Questions for Coach Matty? Up front here.
Hey Coach, Matt Clarida from Harvard Radio. It seems like you guys did a pretty good job of dealing with the BC Kerfoot Crisco line. How do you approach playing against particularly that line with all the points they put up? And I'm not going to ask you to evaluate how you did, because it seems like you did all right. But how do you approach them in sort of a week leading out to that game?
Yeah, you know, they're obviously, you know, all three of them are real good players and smart and highly skilled, and you know, we just try to a little bit contain and stay above the puck. You know, we had a couple of lines that we were looking for matchups. The good news is we were the home team, so we had the last change. So, you know, just try to stay close to them. The Stevens line bore most of the brunt. John Stevens, his brother Nolan, and Aston Reese, I thought did a real good job. They're heavy. Those three guys are smart and they're heavy, and you have to play a little bit heavy on those three players, because they're skilled, and you gotta. You know, I thought we kept the puck in the offensive zone when they were on the ice for a period of time, so that negates it. But I said to Coach Keefe, who was changing the lines, that you know we pinned them in their zone a few times, and then those three still had a lot of energy left, and we had to get a second line ready to go against it, because they still had about another 20 seconds of energy going. But they're great players, and you know, I thought we did a good job tonight in containing them.
Anything else, Coach? Kevin?
Kevin Dupont, Boston Globe. Kevin got an assist tonight. He goes into the top 25 Beanpot scoring. Can you talk about the arc of his career that you've had him, and also just the whole aspect of some of the better, if not many of the better offensive players don't last the 4 years, and what's the challenge in keeping them?
Yeah, no, you know, for Kevin, you know, he's had 4 great years in this Beanpot, and you know, I feel sorry for him and for some of our other seniors I talked about last Monday, and not getting a chance to win the championship in Beanpot, because you know, their group has you know, got us back into Beanpot contention with, you know, 3 years in a row in the finals. And for him, you know, he's a skilled player, and you know, he's still fighting to get that first one, but he was around the net. He had a few good looks here tonight, and it was you know, and he's just knocking on the door. You know, it was great for him to come back and play his 4 years, his 4th year here at Northeastern. You know, his degree means a lot to him. You know, he understood that he wanted to do some things, you know, to still accomplish at the collegiate level. Unfortunately, you know, a concussion took him out, you know, for 2 months this season. But he's come back with the same vengeance, and looking forward to, you know, our team finishing strong this year. So, you know, there was a plan that was laid out. Unfortunately, the plan, you know, things happen, life happens, and but he's worked hard to get back to his back to playing. He played, you know, basically last weekend was his first weekend back, you know, in the Beanpot, and he, you know, he's anxious. There's a lot of energy, and there's a focus to him in trying to help us win, you know, in March instead of just winning in February, and you know, so we've got a lot of quality hockey left, and he's, you know, he's there. It speaks also, you know, Kevin, to his, you know, his family and his parents, who realized the importance of the degree. He's a young man who went to, Deerfield, his brother went to St. Paul's, who are, both two pretty good academic institutions, and, he'll graduate, with a business degree, and his brother will too, so, it speaks to, the 4-year commitment of coming for 4 years, growing, developing it, and maturing as a young man, which he has done, well, and we're thrilled to have him part of our program.
Anything else for Coach Mather?
I want to thank the Garden for all their help, Steve Nazaro and Amy Latimer and everyone else who's been tremendous in their support of this tournament, but making a first-class experience for our student athletes. This press conference didn't end for me the right way last year. It's going to end the right way for me this year, and Steve's there, but I thank everyone in the Garden for their hospitality. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.